Okay, in this tutorial, we're going to discuss Google Drive, what that means, what it does. I broke it up into a couple different parts, so you see that this is part one. As always, if you'd like the link to this presentation, you can access it right here on this website or by going to watervlietps.org/tech help. And on the left-hand side, you'll see student Google tutorials or training that you can access this presentation from. So what are we going to learn, or what are the learning objectives for this presentation? What is Google Drive? How to access it? Some of just the basic layout and functions of it. How to organize your Google Drive with different folders, color coding those folders, moving folders within folders, how to create new documents within your Google Drive, and how to work offline when you don't have internet access. So what is Google Drive? Google Drive is a file storage and synchronization service developed by Google. It allows users to store files in the cloud, synchronize your files across multiple devices, and share those files with other people. What's nice is that you can download, if you have a smartphone, there is a Google Drive app that you can access all of your files that you have saved within your Google Drive. You can access on your cell phone. You could access them at home on a different computer or a laptop or a tablet. And they automatically synchronize if you're signed in to your Watervliet PS Google account. Everything will synchronize automatically for you. Here is the symbol for Google Drive. So anytime that you see this symbol or this logo, you would be able to click on it and take you to your Google Drive if you're signed into your Watervliet account. So I'm going to kind of just delve right into this a little bit. First of all, if you are on your Chromebook, you can access your Google Drive down here at the bottom. You see the Google Drive app here. You can also, it's on the shelf. You can access it by clicking on the Chrome apps launcher, and you would see it here or under all apps maybe. And you can also, on your Chromebook keyboard, on the far left-hand side, you see a magnifying glass key. It's right above the Shift key. And if you click on that, that also brings up the apps launcher. A couple other ways that you can access this. If you are in Google and you see the waffle in the top right-hand corner, you can also click this waffle button and be able to access Drive here. If you are on a laptop or desktop computer, you might see, if you're logged in to your Google account, you might see all apps somewhere up here in the left-hand corner. You could click on that and also access Google Drive that way. You could simply type in Google Drive and should be able to access it in this manner as well. It usually comes up the first one here, and you can click on that. It'll take you to a new screen, and then you'll be able to go right to your Google Drive if you're signed in. So this is what your Google Drive looks like. First off, you want to make sure, if you're signed in, you'll see the Watervliet logo up here in the top left-hand corner. You'll see the waffle, any notifications that you might have. For example, if someone shared a document with you, it would show up there with a little number of any notifications. And then right here is your account. I'm using a student test account, but you might have a picture up here or the first letter of your last name, something like that. Anytime you see the gear button, that's going to be some settings that you can make changes to in any of the applications in Google. And I'm just going to show you something real quick while we're in settings. And that is making sure that offline sync Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides offline. So that way, make sure this button is checked off. And then again, this way you can, if you do not have internet access wherever you are, whether that be at home or somewhere else, whatever changes you make to the documents that are within your drive, once your Chromebook or device syncs back up to the internet, those will save automatically. So that's kind of a nice feature. If you do not have the internet at home, make sure that you have the file in your drive before you leave for home, and then you can make changes and add things and edit those documents when you do not have internet access. Here we're going to talk about details here in another set of like part 2 of this series. And then right here is some different ways that you can view your Google Drive. So I can have it list in just a straight list of folders and files here, or I can have it in tiles, whatever your preference is. Up here in the top left is where you would create new documents. So I'm going to choose this in just a minute. You have the same options here within your drive of creating a new folder or a doc or sheet or slides, and even some more options as well with Google Forms. That's the same button that it basically appears here. Okay. Let me go through these last few things here. Your My Drive. Again, this is what's in here. If you click the little down arrow, this will display your folders that you have within your drive. You might have documents that are shared with you. You can see that there's a couple documents and folders in here that were shared with this account. So that's where you would find any documents or folders that are shared with you. The Recents tab brings up any documents that you recently opened. So you can see today I opened this document or earlier this month. Google Photos, this is if you're like per se your phone is synced to Google, you would be able to view those photos here in this drive, but it is not set up right now. Starred means that, and we'll go over this in the next session as well, but starred means these are files that you have starred that are extremely important or that you access often. I wouldn't suggest putting more than 10 or 15 files within this little drive here. Again, these are ones that you would most likely use quite often. And then trash is anything that you've deleted, and your trash will stay in your trash file for 30 days. And after 30 days, those empty automatically. So I'm going to come back up to my drive here. You can see that I already do have a folder under here. And then you see I have a couple files. When you first access your Google Drive, it automatically gives you this PDF document about getting started, some tips, some tricks, on how to use Google Drive and how to share documents and those types of things. If you don't want it, you can get rid of it, but this is a nice little reference as well. So I'm going to start by creating a new folder. So again, I can access this here, or I can access this here. And I'm going to choose new folder. And I'm going to name it Test for Google Drive. This will appear up here in my folders list. Again, I can change the view of this. A couple things that are nice is if I right click on a folder or a file, again, with your Chromebook, by right clicking, it's 2-finger touch on the keypad, or you can right click with a mouse. But when I right click, I have some different options of sharing, getting a shareable link, so an actual web address to this folder. I can move my folder to a different folder. So if I wanted this folder within the classroom folder, I can move it in here. It will not appear in here, but now it's going to appear in the classroom. Okay, and you can see that folder now here. I can go into that, and what I want to show you at this time is when I do open this folder, you'll see the breadcrumbs here at the top. So, and that's what they call them. They refer to them as breadcrumbs, so that you can go back either to just the classroom folder or actually go back to My Drive. You might have if you have a few folders, you might have a few other breadcrumbs here. So I'm going to go back to classroom, and I'm going to move this back. Actually, I can also just click and drag it back to my drive as well. So now you'll see that folder that I made right back in My Drive. It's important that you create folders to help you organize your files. You'll find that you'll end up with hundreds, maybe even more files, and it's important that you just organize those maybe by class hour or maybe by topic or anything, however you like to organize and arrange your documents. But I'm going to go back to right-clicking this folder. Again, if I add a star to a file or folder, it's going to appear over here on the left in that little storage area. I can change the color, which is kind of convenient to have different colors for each folder. I can rename it. So if I wanted to just take out a word or rename the folder altogether, that's where I would do that simply by right-clicking. I can view the details of that folder. I can download it to a desktop or a laptop, and then I can delete a file or a folder just by right-clicking it as well. You also have some of the same options up here, such as get shareable link, share folder with someone else, delete it, and then you even have some more actions, which again are the same thing. So we've added one folder here. I can take and move this file, drag it right up to my folder, since this does belong in there. And again, now you can see that file is within that folder. So other than creating a new folder, I might want to create a new document, which is a word processing program, Google Sheets, which is a spreadsheet program, Google Slides, which allows you to create slide presentations, Google Forms, which allows you to create surveys and quizzes, and Google Sites as well to create websites for. So I'm simply just going to create a new Google Doc. And I'm going to create a blank document. If it's from a template, that's a pre-designed document, and all of these applications have that. So I'm going to create a blank document. What's very, very nice about Google Drive and saving everything to the cloud is that I don't have to go to File, Save As, save it to a specific location. It saves it automatically for me. So if I put this at the top of my document, and I click where the title of the document is, it will name it automatically for me. So you see test document for Tiefenbach. Now what I can do, and this is for any application, you notice that it saves it or renames it up here for me as well in this tab. I can close this. And you can see that it appears automatically within my Google Drive. So I don't have to save anything. I don't have to go to File, Save As. Anything that's a blue symbol would be a Google Docs. Anything that has this green symbol would be Google Sheets, and so on. So that's the convenience of having Google Drive, is that you don't have to save it. You can automatically rename it. I'll show you in slides as well. So if I title the slide, title slide, running a little slow here. Again, I can click up here in the top. It'll rename it automatically for me. You can see that it's been renamed on this tab, and it will save automatically to my Google Drive. Now it's not showing up right now. The internet's been running a little slow, but I did want to kind of show you that. And you can see the one that we previously created. If you do get that box that pops up that says, do you want to leave or stay? Make sure that it's saved and click stay until you know for sure that it has been saved. But it does save it automatically for you. The other feature I'm going to show you here is information, which is this button, or view details about that document. This will show you the activity of what's going on in your document, if someone commented on it, if any changes were made by someone that you shared the document with. Let me go to a different one, actually, and this one right here. So I can see all of the changes that have been made within this presentation over the course of days, weeks, months, the entire history of it. So if somebody made changes to your shared document, you can go back and revert to the original or delete some of these changes that somebody else made. The other thing are the details within this. So it'll show you the shareable link again. It'll show you who the owner of the document is, where it's located. So it's located in 2 different folders. When the last time it was modified, when it was created, you can even add a description. So the details of each document becomes, it's not just nonsense that's displayed here. It's actual information that can be very helpful. And you can see that I can even delete it out of a specific folder if I didn't want it on there. You notice the little person that's on this folder, that means that this folder was shared with somebody else. Okay. That's all I'm going to cover right now. We're going to come back in another part of this series and discuss how to share documents, how to share folders. So I hope this was helpful to you. I'm going to open this presentation up because at this time, I would like for you to pause the presentation or this video. And once this pulls up, I need you to simply complete a Google Forms for me. It's 5 questions, very simple, very basic. And that is on this slide right here. So if you would please go to goo.gl/U, little o, capital H, 9, capital P, capital K. Complete that survey for me, complete that Google Forms. just so we can gain some feedback and some data on what we need to improve on our training. So you'll see us back here for a different part to Google Drive, and good luck. If you have any questions, you can always, again, refer back to this presentation, which the URL is located right here, or you can go to watervilleps.org/tech help.